Okay, here's the tea. I forgot who I was. Pretty much the entirety of this year, I have been struggling with chronic illness, and oh my god, everything got worse. Everything was just becoming more and more exacerbated to the point that it felt like the chronic illness was taking over my life, and I completely forgot who I was. The amount of physical pain and the amount of chronic, intense fatigue that I was in every single day was the only thing that I was able to focus on. It's chronic illness, autoimmune stuff. It's not because I'm doing anything wrong. It's trauma, like PTSD trauma, that manifested as illness in the body because it didn't know how to express itself in any other way. Anyway, today I had the realization that I'm allowed to do things that I enjoy to do, and I don't need to feel guilty about doing the things that I enjoy. And that might seem really obvious, but to me, it was not obvious until I just had the huge realization, and it was this huge energy of, hey, you're allowed to live. I know you've been living in this chronic freeze state, but you're allowed to melt the freeze. The chronic freeze state just keeps you in fight or flight, keeps you stuck in survival mode, keeps you stuck feeling panicked and frozen. But I had the realization that I can melt what's frozen energetically. Right now, what that looks like for me is filming this video. Hello everybody, I am filming this video because it brings me so much joy to speak to you all. Now that we've addressed that. Anyway, I watched this video the other day about some guy. He was talking about Minecraft, and he was talking about the concept of survival mode and creative mode, because like when you're playing Minecraft, you have the option of two different modes. You can either play in creative mode where you create, you know, if you've played Minecraft, you know what it is. You create. You have an unlimited potential, unlimited opportunities, you are unlimited in creative mode. Or you can play in survival mode, which you're pretty freaking limited in survival mode. In survival mode, yes, you have the option to create when you have the resources, but you don't get to focus all of your time, energy, and attention on accumulating those resources. The primary focal point is survival, making sure that the enemies do not kill you, making sure that you survive. And what this creator was saying, he was basically saying he wants to switch his life from survival mode into creative mode. And yeah, that really clicked something for me. And I just wanted to share that on here. Yeah, I've been living in survival mode, and I don't want to live in survival mode anymore. So, gonna take whatever steps are necessary to switch from survival mode into creative mode, because genuinely, literally everything that I believe in revolves around the fact that we create our reality, or we co-create our reality with God, the universe, divine source, divine guidance, divine intelligence, whatever you want to call it. We're co-creating our reality. But if you are focused on only surviving, if you are focused only on everything that's going wrong in your life and how to prevent everything that's going wrong from getting worse, that is survival mode. And when you are stuck in survival mode, you don't have the time, energy, or attention to create. When you're in survival mode, you can't create your dream life. And it's not about like living your dream life, but really just letting yourself live. Because when you're stuck in survival mode, you're not living, you're surviving. And there's a huge difference. Surviving, you're barely getting by. Surviving, you're struggling. Surviving is painful. Surviving, you feel detached and disconnected from yourself. You feel detached and disconnected from your mind, from your body, from your spirit, from the reality that you live in. Survival mode, you're barely surviving. You're not living. When you break out of this, when you break out of survival mode and you transmute that survival mode into creative mode, then you're living. You're not focused on just getting by. You're not living in this constant fight or flight state of stress. You're not feeling constantly detached and disassociated from your body, mind, spirit, and environment. No, when you're in creative mode, you are immersed in your experience. You are immersed in your reality, in your mind, body, spirit. You are fully immersed in the presence of it all when you switch from survival mode to creative mode. And when you are fully immersed, you have all of the power to create. You have all the creative freedom to create whatever you want to create. This kind of connects to the law of attraction and manifestation, because you cannot manifest if you are living in fight or flight. Okay, let me take that back. We are constantly manifesting, okay? Constantly. But I mean, you can't manifest your dream reality if you're stuck in the fight or flight state, because when you're stuck in the fight or flight state, you're living in loops. And loops and loops and loops and loops and loops. It's like you're stuck because you're going in the same circle. Moving from survival mode to creative mode, you break out of the circle. Doesn't matter how you break out of the circle. This also connects to quantum shifting and quantum leaping, reality shifting. You have to take a leap, and it doesn't matter the size of that leap. It can be so small, so minor. You can go on a walk to somewhere that you've never walked before. You can make a cup of tea from a mug that you've never used before. You could cook a new recipe that you've never tried before. You could write a poem, and you never write poems. I don't know, just do something that you've never done before. It doesn't matter what it is, but that breaks the loop. That breaks the loop in itself, because whatever exists in this loop that you're living in, if there's a new action that you take, it's completely different. It doesn't fall within this loop. It doesn't fall within this loop because you've never done it before, which means it would be branching off. It would exist somewhere else within a different dimensional frequency, a different timeline, a different reality, whatever that action is. And maybe it's going to be similar to this reality that you've been stuck in a loop. Sure, maybe it might be similar, but it's going to be different, because this action that you are taking, you've never taken it before in this reality, in this time loop. So it can't exist in this one. And so that's quantum leaping, quantum jumping, quantum shifting. Yeah, take a new action to break out of survival mode into creative mode to really get your life back. Yes. So some things that I've been doing to break out of my loops, I've been creating art every single day. I've been painting a lot more recently. I've been posting on TikTok frequently. If you don't know my TikTok, I'll link it down below. These acts, while they may seem insignificant, have led to, realities and experiences that would not have occurred otherwise had I not taken these actions. There are a few videos that I posted on TikTok, and they just blew up out of nowhere. Not blew up, but gained a lot more traction than I'm used to. But here's the thing, because I chose to post those videos, and it was so random. It was about a topic that I didn't think I would ever talk about on the internet. But then I was like, you know what? Whatever. Let's do something different. Why not? Let's just do it. So I did. And I am so excited about it because I'm connecting with people in the comments who are having similar experiences, who have shared experiences and shared mindsets and shared ideas, shared thoughts, shared beliefs, and we are so similar. And it's me posting these videos is helping other people. We're making connections that would not have been formed otherwise. And because I started becoming more active on TikTok, I've made a couple of new friends. And we're having really deep, in-depth conversations about literally the molecular structure of the universe. And it's so cool to be connecting with people in this way. I've never been able to talk to other people about universal theories ever in my life, really, because I haven't really met people in person who shared these same interests. But because I took the leap of faith, I've made new friendships, I've made new connections. And in these friendships, in these new connections, we're having conversations that are expanding each other's minds. And so we're helping each other grow and learn and expand in real time. And it's the coolest thing ever. And additionally to that, the videos are helping the people who comment on the videos and shared their experiences. And it's so cool. It's literally the coolest thing ever. And I love it so much. So that is one example of how I have been shifting from survival mode to creative mode and quantum leaping, quantum jumping, breaking out of this loop that I have been stuck in, because I was stuck in a loop for a minute. We're out of that loop. No more. We don't like that loop. Like, thank you, loop. You served me when you did, but we don't need you anymore. I thought I wanted to talk more about like chronic illness stuff, but I think I'm not gonna post anything about it here on YouTube anymore. I'm just gonna keep that to TikTok, and also I'm probably not gonna post as much about chronic illness on TikTok. I think I'm gonna keep my TikTok content more to spirituality, dream talk, conspiracy theory type things, quantum physics type experiences, simply because I feel like me talking about chronic illness, it was part of the loop. Actually, here's the thing. It wasn't part of the loop. Initially, it was part of how I was breaking out of the loop, which is really good. Because initially, oh my gosh, I was struggling a lot. Like a lot. I was in so much physical pain and I could barely function at all, really. And so I wasn't filming any videos at all about anything. Then I decided I wanted to do something with my days. So I started posting about chronic illness, even though like maybe it's embarrassing. What? Me struggling is embarrassing? Like, get over yourself. No, it's not embarrassing. Just because it's taboo, just because people don't typically post when they're struggling. I think that it's ridiculous that people only post the happy highlights of their lives on social media, because it brainwashes people into thinking that that's all that life is. And so then when we really are struggling, because nobody broadcasts or showcases their struggling on the internet, it creates this disillusionment, this detachment, where we begin to think that we need to live the perfect lives, that nobody else is struggling, and it causes us to feel even more alone and isolated when we are the ones who are struggling, because nobody talks about that. So that's why I find it so important to speak about things like this. And that's why, even though it's really difficult and really vulnerable, I do post about mental health struggles and physical health struggles. And do I like watching those videos back? No, not at all. It feels icky, it feels awkward, it feels embarrassing, but it's like that's something that I've realized I just need to get over myself with, because I know that those types of videos can help other people feel more seen and more heard, and that's why I post them. So when I was really struggling with chronic illness, I wasn't doing anything. Then I was like, okay, at the very least, I can record that I'm struggling. Do I want to do that? No. But it will get me out of this loop that I'm stuck in, where I'm like literally not able to function or do really much of anything at all. So then I started posting videos about chronic illness, and that helped me get out of that loop. Then after a few months, then I realized I was kind of stuck in a new loop. That new loop being posting videos about chronic illness. And it felt like the more that I was posting about it, the more stuck I felt. I mean, like, the more I had to say about it, yeah, but also the more stuck I felt in chronic illness. Like, I was like, wow, my symptoms are not getting better. What's happening? Oh my God. Ah! So then I just kind of took a break from posting about chronic illness. I'm talking about everything on TikTok. And I started then just posting other kinds of videos, like mental health related videos, which is a lot more up my alley, or just thoughts that I was having, or spirituality type videos. But I was able to post those videos because I started posting about chronic illness again. It's like I was taking these gradual steps, because initially I went months on end without posting anything at all. And I would not have gone from being bedbound, being completely unable to function, to posting videos about spirituality just like that. No, the buffering act, the action that was acting as a buffer, was posting about chronic illness. It built the momentum for me to start posting videos again, start recording videos again. So now here we are. And now we've got this, and this is cool. Hey guys. So, connecting this back to creative mode and survival mode and being stuck in loops and reality shifting. So, that's kind of the thing. Every time that you take that new action, you're going to find yourself shifting into a new reality or a new timeline, or really a new loop. As you continue to take these actions, you are building momentum. This momentum that creates and connects you to the alignment of whatever higher reality, higher dimensional frequency that it is that you are wanting to connect with. The only thing that I have to add is that over time, when you continue to take these actions, you may find yourself stuck in a new loop. Because, I mean, when you're living a routine way of life, essentially that's a loop. So when you find yourself stuck in a new loop, really all that means is that you have succeeded in taking this action. And now you can add a new action to your little timeline shift. I don't know, as soon as you find that you're stuck in a loop again, that's the most powerful place that you could possibly be, when you become consciously aware of the fact that you are stuck in a loop. Because then you have the power to break out of it. And all you have to do to break out of it is take a little action. Any action. The bigger the action, the bigger the leap. But also, what matters most is consistency. If you take one action and then revert back to your old way of living, revert back to your old lifestyle, revert back to your old loop, well, like, nothing's gonna happen. You have to be consistent with whatever that change is, because really, truly, genuinely, it is an identity shift. You are quantum leaping and quantum shifting your identity when you shift realities. The most important step is that you take that new identity with you, because if you leave it in the past, you're not really going anywhere. I think that concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and I will see you next time. Bye!